Now, when we talk about street ball, this is street
This is
ball.
street ball.
Street ball.
Where the refs just let us, whether we
They
talk
throw
or not,
elbows.
yeah.
You might catch J Drip out there refing one day. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Emotional Blossom Podcast. My name is J Drip, and I'm here with the one and only
Jose Lugo, the AP League CEO.
Let's go, man. So tell me, you go by a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
So tell me, who is Jose Lugo, right? So tell me a little bit about yourself. Tell me your age. Tell me what you do, what you enjoy doing. Give me a little bit to the audience that don't know who you are. Why should they keep watching right now?
Well, I'm 27 years old. I was born in November. I'm very like outgoing. Like, if you know me personally, like I'm very like a jokester. Like, that's just me. Like, I love to see people smile, just be like happy. Cause like I grew up in about like I've been through a lot of stuff. Like, I just deal with it and cope with it a different way. The only way for me to cope with it is for me to like put that type of energy out into the into my life for
To the
everybody.
world, for sure.
Yeah, facts.
So you like to help people out, and obviously, like you had mentioned, the AP League CEO. So that's a big thing, right? That's so. Give me a little bit about that.
We're going into year 3 now. I ain't gonna lie, it's been a journey, bro. I started AP in 2024. I started 2024, which is crazy. It was only supposed to be a tournament. It was only a weekend tournament. I had 5 teams, 5 players. I had somebody at my job have their mom make some shirts for us. No logos, just names and numbers. And that's it. We were supposed to have a weekend tournament. It ended up being like a 6-7 week season. Mind you, we didn't have no refs. We had, it was like war out there. Like literally pick up basketball with just made up refs. Like we had anybody ref and they would just cover the game. But it was like, I had to go through that. Like I had to go through like the growth because now we're heading into season 3. We got so many expectations. I feel like we have more expectations now. And sometimes that shit like it puts me in like a box where I gotta like find solutions for everything. You know what I mean?
No, for sure. And the expectation, I am not even going to lie to you. Like the expectation is going to keep on growing.
Yeah.
Every year, your expectations are going to be more and more and more. But the one thing I do say is stay on the course, right? And
Yeah.
stay on what you got to do, because it's only going to get harder.
Yeah.
You know. So like the first year, like, and I know it's like stressful, but like it's satisfying to see that success afterwards. You know, what you when that season ends, like no matter if y'all championships or not, you know, you still, this is something that you grown and built, right? So it's a good feeling to definitely have that. So going through those ups and downs. So in 2024, it was just a weekend league, and then it just kind of developed into something else.
Developed into season 2, and then that's when I was able to get a connection with referees. I was able to get sponsors. I was able to connect with Keenan, KD Media. Shout out KD Media.
Shout out KD Media.
I connected with Keenan. It's crazy. I have a whole story about when that happened. We was in the car. This is when I played Dover Dogs. We're in the car. I'm like, yo, bro, like obviously I love your work. I would like to like collab if we could work something, get logos for the league and have something running. And then we actually like kept it the word. Like he stood on his word. That's why I always respect Keen. Always respect Keen.
For sure. Shout out KD Media, man. He helped me out too. He did. So I painted this logo, right? And then we contacted KD. I contacted KD Media, and I was like, yo, bro, like obviously like me and him work together, and I shoot some stuff for him and he shoots some stuff for me, and he helped me out with the digital, like the graphic standpoint, because that's something that I'm familiar with, but I'm always been a good advocate of, like, you know, something that you don't know how to do very well, just go out and go get help from somebody who can do it better than you.
Yeah.
Like that. Don't be ashamed of that, because then that's how you build an empire. And me and Keen had talked about it multiple times. It's like what me and him want to build in Lancashire is like way more than people could just like regular people see, because he wants to build an empire, and I'm like, bro, I'm right here with you building my empire too. Like we going back and forth. Like me and him, what he does is what he does, and what I do is what I do, and we just mesh together so nicely. You know, me and him do a lot of work with especially like J Drip Entertainment, which is like another business, which is obviously my main business, J Drip Entertainment, which I do a lot of videography and video marketing. That's what I focus on with J Drip Entertainment. And then there's Emotional Blossom, which is the podcast. You know, technically, this whole podcast is brought to you by J Drip Entertainment, right? Like literally produce. And then Emotional Blossom, it's been crazy, that journey with getting this painting into an actual vector like logo, and then obviously getting other different logos that we rocking with. And
fire.
It's crazy. It's just it's a whole different, like, maybe sometimes all you need is that little push.
Yeah.
No, that help to get you over the hump, And if you ain't never had that, in your instance, it was KD Media to get you through that, Do you think it would have been the same?
Hell no. Hell no. I would. No.
Not even close.
Not even close.
Not even close.
I could have found
that's look. No jokes aside. That's the quality my man's bring to KD Media.
Yeah, that's to say the least, man. If I would have went to somebody else, I know they wouldn't put their all into like what's really going out there.
It's for the city, bro.
It's for the city. It's not for nobody. It's not for me. It's not for Keen. It's for everybody. It's for the community. I feel like that's what makes it all work at the end of the day.
I feel definitely it's just all for the community, which is the best part. I feel like why a lot of people genuinely love AP League, because it's for the community, people. And and let's be honest, like that part of the city doesn't really get represented as well. Not as well, but as often as they probably should have. So you got all the different things that brought to you through those trials and obstacles with AP League, right? So what type of emotions did you really like feel? Because obviously at the end it's like relief, but when you're building up, it's obviously like maybe some anxiety. Now that you're getting more expectations, you're starting to feel a little bit more of that pressure, So tell me a little bit about how it feels going into this.
I think
third year.
I think going into it's like now I have more like knowledge of what I'm going into now. Like last year, lie to you not, bro. Before week 1 started, it was probably like 2 hours before I was supposed to go set up. I called my mom. I said, "Yo, can you pray for me?" That's the first thing I said. Can you pray for me? Because I was getting mad anxiety. I was like, I don't know how it's gonna go. Who's gonna be out there? What am I supposed to do? Am I gonna like fold? I'm like, nah, I can't go out like that. So like, I had to pray for me. I prayed for myself, and then ever since then, bro, like prayer is real. Like prayer is real, bro. I think that's what really like helped with everything for real. Because now we're here. To this day, I still pray every day. I pray 2-3 times a day. And I thank him for getting me to where I'm at, allowing me to be the person to do something like this for the community. You know what I mean? So it's like, sometimes it's overwhelming, bro, because I got to make everybody happy, even though some people are not going to agree what I do.
Nah, because in this game, you're going to have winners and you're going to have losers, It just depends on if you're going to take that L as an L or if you're going to take the L as a lesson, kind of, and develop. Because, nobody's going to be happy. During that process, I know damn well in the creation of AP League and doing all these different things, you took multiple L's. But you didn't let it fold you. You didn't get distracted by it. You just kind of developed through it and grew and learned from it. Because, trust me, I know, because you might think something's coming in and it never comes in, and you got to kind of pivot and go a different direction.
Last second decisions all the time. I just be having to like figure it out. And basically how can I explain it? Like, I feel like when everything goes right, it's all peaches and cream. But when something goes wrong, the first person they come to is me, because I run the league. That's where I think the pressure really comes into. I think that's what like bothers me the most. But I try to like we said earlier, persevere.
Yeah,
persevere.
Definitely persevere. I mean, you've probably been tested before and you've proven yourself, and then it just really just depends on how you deal with that pressure, And a lot of times, for example, like me, when I play college ball and at Lockhaven, before like games, I usually get like really nervous, right? So until I really started thinking about like it was like week after week, like my freshman year, like it was weird because my freshman year, like I would still dress, but I would never play, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was like third string behind multiple people, and I would still get nervous, right? But it was weird because every single time you had to perform and get better. As my career went on, like I obviously got playing time and I started a couple games, but it just got to the point that I just felt like the more that I prepared and the more that I got myself mentally ready and I thought about it, the less I would get nervous, right? Like more that I could predict what other people, there's always that side of maybe don't prepare a little too hard, don't psych yourself out.
Don't get too much adrenaline.
Don't get too much adrenaline. So I always try to stay calm, right? And stay calm and understand like I'm good. Good positive self-talk. I'm good. I practice this, and having that recollection, like I tried my hardest. And going to bed with I tried my hardest. Yeah. So I feel like having that faith also with you talked about like you pray a lot. That's huge too. A lot of people don't go towards that and just, go a different direction.
Yeah.
And that's one of the different reasons like meditation, going out for walks, playing basketball, dealing with different emotions. A lot of times that anxiety, bro, it's like it almost feels supernatural. And you just gotta
like just breathe. Just breathe. Some people get overstimulated, which is it happens, so you gotta like maneuver around that, to be honest.
And understand where your weaknesses and your strengths are. Because one thing that you might be weak in, you can depend on the other,
I want people to understand like it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to not feel like doing something one day, not feeling like doing something the other day. It's okay. You have those type days. You have to just keep pushing yourself. Keep pushing yourself. That's all you have to do.
For sure. And like I feel like when it comes to like the AP league, for example, like Rome wasn't built in a day. We had like I feel like if you come to AP league this year, which I hope we're gonna go into the dates a little bit more, you Rome wasn't built in a day. It took years and years and years and mess ups and then build them back up. And then you've seen all the different things. Like now they got mesh jerseys and they're going into that. And this is going into a respectable, summer league that you could play in. And then year after year, it's just going to keep on building the community up too. Because next thing you know, there's going to be some young boys playing in the league that you don't know, So
I got young boys that already want to play, and they're telling me, they're like, wait till I'm 18, wait till I'm 18. I'm like, if the league's still, God willing, the league's still around and we can keep it going.
Keep on persevering and keep on showing growth year after year. There's no doubt that you can,
Yeah, exactly.
and we can make it bigger. And you have that community with you. You just have to hold the community. And like I said earlier, stay on your course. Like that success that you want, that area that you want to go through, like that goal, get to it.
Yeah.
And basically get to a certain point that you're like, you feel comfortable, Do you feel like at what point? So I got an interesting question for you, right? Obviously, like everybody thinks like, yo, I'm gonna be playing basketball forever, right? And basketball is precisely different than, for example, like football. It's a lot more physical, and you money wise, uniforms and all these different things. Around what age or what moment in your life did you say, all right, I might not be playing basketball forever?
I think last year, bro. Yeah, last year. Because I was thinking, I'm like, I'm not going to be able to play this game forever. But I do want to, like, eventually when I have kids in the future, I want to be able to at least play with them to the point where it's like, I'm just not able to play no more physically. Yeah, that's the point I want to get to. When it comes to league-wise, I want to...
Tell me about league-wise.
league-wise, I want to win a couple more championships before I leave, I think. But if that happens, if it don't, I'll give it like 3 years, 4 years.
I don't know. Them 3 years are gonna turn into 5.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Yeah.
It's hard to walk away from the game, especially when it's so much available to you, and with like a game like basketball. Like I'm not even gonna lie to you, like for me in football, like I walked away from football because like it's what I had to do, you know. And it's different because you can always go to the basketball gym and go work out, you know,
just shoot around
and shoot around. I can't. I mean, I could go and set up a ladder and do some ladder, but that's just not the same as running a route and being able to catch a ball or like 7-on-7 is probably the best lick I'm gonna get of football. And I mean, it's cool. Like I played in the BFAL and we went to and that was fun. But maybe in the future, whenever continue to play flag football, catch me in the 2028 flag football Olympics. Nah, but I feel like that's what made you think of that. Like, was it injuries or was it just being real with yourself? Right? Because like you got like, all right, I got a couple more seasons in me. But then a lot of the times, like sometimes a lot of people that like, I'm just tired of losing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that, I don't know what that feeling would really be. Because it's not regret, because you would never feel regret because you trying your hardest. As long as you're giving your all out to there. I feel like if I'm not giving my all out there, then that's when it's time. I'm disrespecting the game at that point.
It's just some people, it's like a void, I think, where they don't have that. And then they let that be the reason why they stop doing something. But I think it's a little bit of both. Like, I think it's just timing and injuries. But like, I think it's to the point where I want to like just enjoy the moment. You know what I mean? I always got to go. Like when I run the league, I always got to go do 100 things, ask 100, answer 100 questions. But then I have to play too. So if I take that off my plate, then I'm able to just be that person.
You're gonna be able to hone in your skills on actually being, AP lead CEO. Yeah. That's when they're gonna transform from swag to officially CEO.
The CEO, yeah.
CEO.
Yeah.
Sure. That's crazy because just to think about it, it's like for example, like with Emotional Blossom and like I feel like with any small business, that's really like the goal.
Yeah.
To a certain extent. You develop the league enough to just run it. You develop the small business and to not be working in the small business and just have other people working in the small business for you and the company itself. So that's huge. And I feel like that's very obtainable. Like I said, you just got to keep pushing it and keep the community.
Yeah.
It's all y'all. Like it's all communities, depending regardless if it's Emotional Blossom community, Pain community, AP League community, no matter what type of community is, we all come together and help each other out at all costs. I like to help people out. That's why I brought you on here, to get you some exposure. The AP League, make sure y'all pop out. Go ahead, give them a little spiel, schmeal. Tell me dates.
I know every Saturday starting May 16th.
May 16th. So every Saturday starting May 16th at what time?
3 p.m.
3 p.m. at Almanac, right?
Yep, at Almanac Park, 630 Almanac Avenue.
630 Almanac Avenue. Tell me about that court. Did you grow up there?
Yep, right next to it.
Did you grow up right next to that court? You grew up playing in that court?
Yep.
Are they going to get new court? We ever in the future getting new courts?
Oh, man. I'll sure.
Maybe, we keep growing a little bit.
Do it, yeah. I probably had to be the one to do it. Hopefully, man.
Now, when we talk about street ball, this is street ball.
Street ball.
Street ball.
Where the refs just let us, whether we
they throw elbows. Yeah. You might catch J Drip out there refing one day. But so yeah, it's just little by little. I'm just joking with y'all, man. I love that court. I know it definitely takes a lot, but like everything in life, it takes bread. It takes money.
It definitely takes time to get used to too.
And get time to get used to, a lot of the times, we gonna start with some fresh nets, You know, some new rims, maybe
painted backboards,
and then we could talk about the whole actual court itself.
Yeah. I definitely called them too. I called them asking if I could do it. They told me that they were gonna do it, but if they don't, they'll allow me to do it. But I told them, I'm like, I might as well just do it, get it out the way. The season's about to start, so
yeah, maybe for next year. And like we said, you know, it gives you something to work on for next year. You know, other than winning the chip year after year. You know, especially because CEO duty is different than a regular player, which would be crazy. But so tell me, on a day to day as swag, right? Obviously, like you have a lot of emotions that you go through, right? Tell me about one emotion that you feel and you analyze it right away, right? You get what I'm saying? Like it's not something that a lot of the times, like we would say, like numb, like a numb emotion, right? There's some emotions that you're happy, you automatically like know you're happy, right? Tell me about one that, in that aspect,
I think excitement. I'm very excited over certain things. I think like I look far upon things. Like if I have my eyes set on something, I make sure I try to do everything I do in regular day life. I try to make sure I give 110% to get to that point. And if I do that, then that point will feel so much better than everything I go through like throughout the course. I think that's my main like emotion.
That's an interesting way to look at it. And honestly, bro, like it's just fire. Because like, so tell me dig a little bit deeper into that so the audience can understand it a little bit, you know, and that maybe they can perceive shit a different way.
I think like, for example, the league starts May 16th. I have May 16th locked in like my calendar. I have it written in my notes, and I have it like it just sits in my brain like May 16th, May 16th. And I think about it like it's so far away, but it's really not. So I have to like garner and get everything I have to get. Like, but it keeps me motivated. It keeps me wanting to like work more, do more, play more, et cetera, et cetera.
Like you got to be ready for that.
I got to be ready. I have to be ready. If anybody has to be ready, it has to be me because I have to lead. You know what I mean? Like I feel like I have to lead differently than I did last year. That way I grow. And then next year it'll be the same thing. It'll keep going that way, like blossoming. I feel like next year will blossom, keep blossoming, and then we'll get to the point where everybody will know about AP League. I feel like the city, the county will know about AP League. That's my true goal. If we can get it to that.
Yeah. So definitely thinking about a higher and more brighter future, you would say, and then just working towards that. A lot of the times, like even if that destination might be too long, like for example, AP League starts in May, right? In January, you weren't thinking about the start of AP League. You were probably thinking about media days, draft, like what you gonna do. Like it doesn't always have to be that long-term goal. You always have to have those little check marks,
those little
checkpoints in between to keep yourself grounded, right?
Make sure you get it done. Well, me personally, I make sure I try to get things done early. Like every checkpoint has to be done early because once the league comes up, I don't want to be scrambling around trying to do things last minute. You know what I mean? So I try to make sure I'm on point with everything I do when it comes to the league. And I have to do everything like cordially. I have to make sure got to make sure I know who I'm bringing around, who I'm working with, who's helping me, who's giving me ideas, brainstorming ideas, all types of things. I think that's the most important part to it.
That's definitely having the community around you and being that CEO, right? And one thing that one of my boys said to me was like, bro, like it's always gonna be a first time for something, right? So don't expect to be perfect that first time, but all you could do is prepare, right? So just keep on preparing. You know the old saying, "Stay ready so you don't gotta be ready." You know, it comes to mind because in reality, that's true. You know, you always gotta be ready to stay ready, right? Okay, so we're gonna move on, kind of lighten up the load a little bit, and talk about, like, I know we've been talking a lot about like good emotions, bad emotions. You know, when I like to think about things whole roundedly. So you talked about excitement.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you think the opposite of excitement would be?
I would think like very down, very to yourself, not communicative, not putting yourself out there. You know what I mean? Like being in your inner circle, getting in that, like I said earlier, in that box where you don't want to be heard, where you feel like you're not being heard. You don't want to talk to nobody at the same time.
Yeah.
Like if you want to be heard, you got to be able to communicate, but you got to know who you're communicating to.
That's a big one.
That's the most important part.
You can be talking all you want, but next thing you know, you're talking to a wall. Like you talking to nobody.
You're either talking to a wall or you're talking to somebody that's going to twist your words around and make it seem like you don't know what's going on with yourself. As long as people know, as long as you know, I think that's the most important part, honestly. And that's probably the opposite for it.
Yeah. And I would say that excitement, with the excitement, I would say probably, I wouldn't say regret, would you think?
Yeah.
Ish, because, because like you excited to get there, or like you, like a letdown almost.
I think
like a disappointment almost.
I think regret is perfect because you might regret not doing everything the way you should have if you did prepare for it. Like you regret not preparing on time, not preparing the right way or whatever. I think that's a great one, I think, personally.
Because I feel like that's a lot. I talked about it in another episode that I had for the podcast, was basically like they talked about letters from like people who are on their deathbed. And a lot of them are like mad depressing because they talk about regret. You know, like you're so excited to live life, you know, so excited to live the American dream. Yeah. But then when you die, you know, what is your life really meaning for?
What are you remembered for?
What do you remember for? I feel like, honestly, bro, that's like one of my deepest, like one of my, I don't want to say fears, but I want to be like not being remembered, not being left, not doing enough of my part to leave a legacy somewhere, you know? Yeah. For example, like going somewhere and leaving it better than you started it, you know? Like you're doing the AP league, you're leaving the community better than, like, let's say AP ended this season.
Yeah.
God forbid, and I hope y'all stay healthy and keep going for many, many seasons, right? But if it ends, you left it better than you would have started. The community itself, there's a sense of wholeness within the community that before you came around and started AP League, it wasn't there. So now you have that sense of wholeness, so you left something. I always like to live by that too. When we think about the opposite, you know, emotion, both sides of a sphere, you know, there's a two sides to a coin, the heads and tails.
Yeah.
You know. But I like to think about that. Don't want to be, I don't want to say regretted, but you know, but forgotten. Yeah. Not left a legacy per se.
I think what's like my biggest fear, I don't want to be remembered as just a basketball player. Like I want to be remembered for me as a person, like who I am to people, who people envision me as. Like I want to be remembered for being Jose Lugo. I want to be remembered for that. I don't want to be just remembered for a basketball player. That's why I try to like build connections with whoever. It can be anybody. I won't know somebody from a can of paint. I'll make sure like I conversate with them, make sure they feel comfortable, make sure they like know that they're safe, and like when people come to my league, I try to make sure nothing ever goes off, because like I'm responsible for everybody.
You're responsible.
I'm responsible for everybody. And I care about like whoever comes to the league. Like I remember faces. Like when people come to my league, it's like it's a great feeling. Like I look around, sometimes I get like, how can I say it? I'll just sit there, be quiet. I look around and I'll be like, dang, I did all this. But at the same time, it's not just me. I always remember everybody that's involved.
Everybody that helped you.
It can be anything. They bought something. They help set up. They help keep score. They help keep music. Keen, for example, help take pictures and videos, media designs, everything. Like, I'm just thankful for it all, honestly. I think, I don't know.
No, definitely. And it honestly, like little by little, you having that good faith within the community, it gets contagious, and definitely want to keep people around to a safe space, a safe, healthy community that we talk about, right?
Yeah.
So, and that brings me to another point with like emotional blossom, that's one of my main things as well. A healthy, safe community where people can like be themselves,
Be
because a lot
themselves.
of the times, bro, people see each other, and like you see certain things on social media, you see certain things on that get misinterpreted all over the place, right? But within emotional blossom, like I want you guys to feel safe, and anybody who wears my gear, watches this podcast, comes on this podcast, appreciate you for coming on the podcast,
Always.
obviously. But coming on the podcast, wearing my shorts, wearing a patch, wearing whatever type of merch we drop, because I guarantee you we're gonna be dropping a lot more merch, right? Just because of what I stand for, and I want it to be contagious, and I want everybody to understand that when you wear emotional blossom, you wearing through every single emotion. I blossom, no matter if it's you try to tear me down. I'm like I'm battle tested type,
Yeah.
So sadness, I've been through that. Anger, I've been through that. Disgust, I've been through that. Happiness, I've been through that. Joy, I've been through that. Grief, I've been through that. Like all that, like I've felt through everything because I've been battle tested, right? So when you wear emotional blossom, you're like have that confidence to you, right? And also you understand, you see somebody else wearing this, like they understand what the community is about,
And they understand the meaning behind everything.
And because in social media, there's all these like Instagram brands and that clout chasing them. I want my brand to really stand for something and be basis on an actual mission. Not saying that people out there don't have a mission, because a lot of them do, and a lot of them sadly don't portray it the right way.
Yeah.
But little by little, you see, you keep growing, you keep blossoming. You keep to understand, like, all right,
Yeah. I feel like your shorts are given like, and your brand as a whole, I feel like it's perfect for what the city needs right now. It's another brand out in the city. I feel like it gives out a personal meaning to people. Some people don't like to explain their emotions or talk about their emotions, but like I feel like your brand is something like, personally for me, it's something I need. Like I want to cop some shorts, bro. I'll probably cop some shorts after the podcast.
we can handle that.
We can talk about
but yeah, like it's just something that people can really tie on to, because no matter how you feeling, like you gotta blossom. And it's not saying that. So a lot of the times it's funny, because a lot of the times there's so many different brands out there that you try to cut through the clutter, right? And for me, for an example, like I've always had a battle with who I am as a person, right? And not really who I am as a person, who I want the world to be portraying me as, right? For example, like I was born in Puerto Rico. I moved here when I was 6 years old. I barely knew any English, and I knew Spanish, and I barely knew any English. Only English I knew is because I went to private school in Puerto Rico, right? I was actually blessed enough to go to private school in Puerto Rico, and when I moved down here, I went to private school or to public school, and I was in ESL. So like I always got made fun of. So not in the not really like made fun of, make me bully, like cartoon bullying, like I'm in the corner crying, But my language, my speaking skills weren't always like that. I was missing out of classes all the time because I had to go to ESL. If y'all don't know what ESL is, it's called English as a Second Language. And basically, I didn't have art class. So like every time somebody had art class, you would have to go to ESL, or like any time of like extra elective, extracurricular activity, you would go to those classes and you would learn a little bit extra English. You know, it was like tutoring.
Yeah.
You know, I hated them motherfucking classes, bro, because like I would always want to go play with my friends. You know, I was always friendly. Like it wasn't like I was antisocial. They didn't talk to nobody that didn't talk to me. I like to be pretty social, but that's another thing. Like, how do I want to be portrayed?
Yeah.
So when I was in elementary school, I was just kind of like always acting up, you know, per se. And then when I got to college, when I got to middle school and then high school, I found a way to express myself. So that was through video, and I really like making videos because seeing the joy in people's faces made me feel some type of way.
That's exactly how I feel. That's the best way to put it, bro.
And I feel like that gave me so much self-worth. So how do I want to portray myself? Now we go into the deeper part. Like we have the social aspect of things, and then we have like the business aspect. So I turn my business and me making videos into J Drip Entertainment, which is actually a business. And then the social aspect of like I'm not even gonna lie to you, like it's weird, but like I've been going so much by J Drip for so long now. Like it's like the Jamie that was in high school, like he was done.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like I felt like at some point I had to kind of get rid of him to build who I am now. You know, I feel like a lot of people really go through that, you know, and then sometimes they be like, you know how the real greedy like video, not greedy, but like gritty videos. They're like, you had to look at yourself in the mirror and say like, you have to die. Like that part of you has to go away so you can develop
and blossom.
So I feel like I've went through that a lot in my life. And when I was really thinking about it and kind of sat down all these nights, you know, back when I first did Emotional Blossom, it was like I feel like I go through bipolar disorder, but we're not gonna talk about that. My wife, she's like, yeah, you got bipolar, but I'm like, it is what it is. Like, I've never went to a therapist or anything, but it's just something that I felt like sometimes I feel happy. Out of nowhere, I get
upset,
numb, or I'm just regular, you know, like moods can change so quickly, and it doesn't always have to be a disorder, you know, but we always, you know, that is the thing that people go through in life, you know, and it's an actual condition. So I like to always reach out and try to with my platform and what I like to do, help other people. And if it can help other people, it makes me happy and gives me some self-worth.
And if you can help somebody, that somebody can help somebody else.
Exactly. And then like in this point, like we talk here, somebody might see this and really connect with you that you ain't never, ever thought you were going to have a conversation with. And they just had a whole conversation with me, you, and the audience. AKA chat, you know. So
we'll get to that point, bro. Just stay committed and stay persistent.
Exactly. Emotion of the day, emotion of the episode. Persistence. It's definitely persistence that you have to have, especially to be successful in your area, you know, year 3 of the podcast, you know, year 3 of the AP League. And hopefully, or I know for a fact more, you know, but there was definitely ups and downs through those journeys. Definitely. And ups and downs through your personal life that people, you know, don't know. There's like the social media aspect of everything that everybody sees, and then there's a behind the scenes, and
life.
And somebody might be able to take that into their personal life too, you know. So I appreciate you coming on to the podcast. And like I said, I have one last question for you, and that last question is: now that you know Emotional Blossom, and we've talked about it, and kind of gave you my aspect of like what the brand stands for, I want to know, Mr. Jose, what does Emotional Blossom mean to you? Like from what you've understood, how you have broke everything down. Because I like to think everybody thinks different. Not everybody's going to think the same way I do. Not everybody's going to think the same way you do. So tell us, what is Emotional Blossom to you?
Emotional blossom to me is a mixture of emotions and feelings, but being able to cope through it. Like, whether that's, like you said earlier, going for walks, playing basketball, going hanging out with your friends, whatever you do, make sure you, like, how can I explain it? Like, if you're bundled up with emotions, be able to, like, breathe and ease it out. Like,
Understand them.
understand them. Like, you're going to go through different things and phases in your life, but if you keep persevering, you'll be able to get through all that, honestly.
And I feel like that's a great like definition for you for knowing what emotional blossom is to you, because at the end of the day, bro, like I like to ask everybody that I have on the podcast that question, because it's never going to be the same. You know, everybody is different, and that's what I want people to understand. Everybody is different, so you got to always have an open mind on, depending on who you're talking to or who you having conversation with. You know, don't be scared to have that conversation with somebody you don't know. Don't be scared to have that conversation with somebody you might know and you just know them from social media.
Yeah.
You know, because social media might not be the whole output. You know, and then there's always the bad side. You know, the people can be bad on social media.
They get portrayed differently on social media. Social media is differently.
So, but there's always you get portrayed bad on social media and you're a good person. You get portrayed as a good person on social media and you're a bad person. So, hey, you never know. I'm a pretty solid guy.
Yeah. I think I'm a nice person too. Man,
so yeah, make sure you come out to the AP League this year. So give us a little bit. So when is it?
May 16th. Again? May 16th, 3 p.m. First game.
We're gonna have that up here. You got you got your Instagram, the AP League Instagram.
Yep.
Right. You got his personal Instagram. I'm gonna put it there as well. And then shout out KD Media. He's gonna be on here at some point. I'm not sure when, but he's definitely gonna be on here at some point. We're gonna be chopping it up, definitely getting to it.
KD, we need you out here, bro. We need you.
But I appreciate you for sliding out.
Thank you for having me, bro.
Hey,
appreciate you.
Make sure y'all enjoy the episode. Comment, like, subscribe. Stay blooming.
Shout out Emotional Blossom.